again to MGTracey. If you're already a subscriber, then sincere thanks from me. Thank you very much for joining the over a third of a million of you. If you've not subscribed, then please do it now. On my channel you will find lots of coffee tips, vacuum tips, lots of fun things on the house, and even lots of fun in Florida. So today we're going to be going through the basics of a TASSIMO, how to look after it, and we're going to be using my way 2. Next couple of days we'll be having a look at the new TASSIMO Caddy, and there's a lot of other stuff on my channel, from SodaStream right through to all the Keurig stuff, or even Dyson, so whatever you like you should find it here on your channel. So please like, share and subscribe. Okay, without further ado, let's get cracking with your new TASSIMO. Now whether it's the first time you've used your TASSIMO, this is my way 2, but it's 99% the same DNA instructions for everything else if it's a TASSIMO. If it's the first time you've used it, or if you've not used it for a while, then you need to give it a quick clean. So first thing is the tank. Make sure you've rinsed out the tank. Pay particular attention to the little springy valve here. I've seen some horrible green ones, that is not going to be good. Now the My Way 2 does come with a plastic piece in here and the option to put in a Brita water filter. There's nothing wrong with the water here, so that just seems to waste space. I mean, you've got to keep refilling it more. Also, although you do have a little LCD screen here to remind you when to change it, I don't think everyone's that good with that, and that means that actually you're probably making the water worse by having a really old carbon filter sitting in your water. I don't think it's necessary. It seems like another way to flog you something else. They've discovered the same world of printers where they sell you a printer fairly cheap and then they whack up the price of the ink. A lot of coffee systems work in the same way, and okay, that's fair due for the coffee, but I don't think we need to do too much to our water. If you live in an area where you don't really like the taste of water, I think it's cheap enough just to buy bottled water and go with that. Certainly there's less risk of you giving yourself a dodgy tummy. So let's fill this tank up and we'll quickly clean the machine. I filled the tank up. It's okay to hold it by the lid. If you're trying to get the plastic tray out that the Brita water filter sits in, then just unclip this and you'll find this black lid and you'll find that it just slides out. So first thing is obviously to dock that on the back. If you look at the thousands of questions I've had about odd things happening with different coffee machines, the most common reason for that is that the water tank has not been docked correctly. So just make sure that is firmly in. With a TASSIMO, the whole system is barcode driven. That's how it works out the bar pressure, the temperature, and even how much liquid to put it in. That's standard with all TASSIMOs, so making sure the reader is clean is quite important. Now what you find, all these bits just lift out, they'll all just pop out quite happily, and then you can actually give everything a bit of a clean. All this is safe to run through the dishwasher or just wash it under the tap and microfiber it. And then the cleaning disc, and you should have got one of these, if not you are going to need one. You need it once a month just to clean the machine, or if it's not being used you need it as part of the descaling process. So I'll put a link below if you've lost one or you bought one second hand and you don't have one. So we'll just pop that in there in the same way you would a T-disc. Pop this down and just hit the button, and that will run some hot water through the system just to give it a quick clean out. And you should do this if this is the first time you use your machine, if it's new, or if you've not used it for a while. It's also a good idea to do it if you've been doing a lot of hot chocolate and you're now going to swap over to a coffee or a tea. You will get any residue out of the machine by doing that, so it's definitely worthwhile doing. That doesn't take too long. So I'm going to stop that there, that's fine. I can see the colour of the water is okay. If the colour of your water is brown or any other colour, then I would run that cycle again. Just make sure you tip that away safely. Okay, so we'll take out our cleaning disc. All the TASSIMOs, they fit on the side there. Now on My Way you've got a number of options, and really what these are options to overrule the barcode of how the system has been set up. So we're going to open some Loire Espresso Latte Macchiato Caramel here. Actually, another thing, if you're a regular viewer, you'll see that now the TASSIMO packs have 6 or 7 drinks in them, where they all used to be a standard 8. And as you might imagine, the price hasn't come down. That's just another sneaky way of increasing the price of your coffee. Terrific. So yes, every disc you put in from any different of the brands that work on the Tassimo. And one of the great reasons for having a Tassimo is you have got Cadbury and Costa, and you've got so many big European, British and German brands there. But whether it's the milk pod or it's the coffee, you will find there's a barcode there. Now the first thing you have to do with anything that's got a milk, give it the Maxwell House shake. So you need to give that a good mix up. Some of them have powders. You'll hear that. It's not obviously important to shake it, but where it's got a concentrated milk in, it needs a bit of a shake. Except for some of the chocolates, you always put the milk in first. So always start with the milk. Right, so I'm going to get a larger glass. I'll put the links for the machine and the glasses, etc. will be as usual in my description box below. So we're going to have a go at doing the milk here. So the main difference on the My Way 2 is you've got different beans here. That allows you to increase the strength of your coffee. This one here, the little temperature gauge, you can tap it and you'll see it goes red, lighter colour, and that's to do basically how hot you want the drink. Then you've got your cup size here that you can alter. Now these are things that are normally automatically set when the machine reads the barcode, and in any of the other Tassimos you can't alter these settings. You will just be as it's set up by the barcode, which is usually fine. We're not going to play around with this at all because obviously we're just doing the milk, so we'll go with that one now. Now this machine is different to the Keurig and some of the American machines as it works under pressure. The American machines tend to just basically be like drip water through like you would a carafe of coffee or something. So this builds up pressure and then pumps it through that, and you can see you're getting quite a frothy milk there. It's quite a nice sweet smell. Now you don't really want to go much above 3/4. So if it's the first time you've used it and you're working out which glass you want, then stay by the machine. You can always touch it. This is actually going to stop at the right point, but if it hadn't, just touch your little flashing button and that's quite loud. Touch the little flashing button and that will stop. If you want to add more, just hold it and you can pump some extra water through. So you'll be able to get it with the My Way, you'll be able to get this to where you want it. Next really key tip for any Tassimo, when it's flashing inside this machine, it is depressurizing. If you just whip that top up to take out your tea disc, you're going to really shorten the life of the machine because you're putting stress on the inside as it suddenly drops in pressure. So you've got to wait till that stops flashing before you swap over and put in your tea discs. Tea discs are recyclable. It's a bit of a faff, I was honest, because you've got foil here you need to get off. You've got foodstuffs, obviously coffee granules for most of them, that can go in your food waste, and then the actual plastic bit itself is recyclable. But I couldn't lie to you, that is a lot of faffing around, comparing it to the Keurig system, which is much easier just to whip off the top. Okay, so that's now finished. Remember, often this has got boiling water or close to boiling water left in it, so be careful when you're opening it or where you put it down, because you're going to mark your kitchen surface. We're now going to put this in. You'll see you've got another barcode there. All the way down, hit the magic button again, and now we will put in the Loire coffee into the milk. So the actual caramel flavour in this one is actually within the latte macchiato milk. It's in there. This is just basically a shot of espresso. It is a great smell. I think the smell of caramel in the morning, that's a good one to get you up and at it. Now if this is all working well, this would almost look like a pint of Guinness here. You'll start to see how the two colours mix and you get wonderful patterns. If you leave that for a couple of minutes before you serve it to your guests, you'll basically get what I call the rings of Saturn. And it's the presentation of the drinks on the Tassimo that is really the reason for using the machine. It looks and it tastes like it does in your favourite coffee shop, but obviously it's somewhat cheaper. So I would leave that for a while. Before you actually give it to a guest, then really you want to have a long spoon and give it a bit of a stir up, otherwise basically all the flavour is just in there. So there we go, all we're looking for now is a willing volunteer, and I'm sure Tracy's upstairs, so we're going to give her this Loire Latte Macchiato Caramel. Hopefully that's given you a quick inkling in how to use your Bosch TASSIMO. It's not too difficult really, just follow those rules. Remember, if it's flashing, don't lift it up because you will knacker the machine quite quickly. You will find eventually that you'll get some sort of red display here, and that means the machine needs to be decalcified. So I'll put a link to my video showing you how to do that. The machine actually counts down the number of coffees it's done. It doesn't know how hard your water is or how quickly the inside of this is furring up. It's just counting down the number of coffees, and when it gets to the magic number, which I'm guessing is about 100, 150, so this will go with a red light, and then you need to run a special cleaning cycle. I say I shall put a link to that particular video on how to do it, and the tablets you need will be in the description box. So I hope that's useful. Tomorrow we're going to be looking at a very new TASSIMO called the TASSIMO Caddy. So if you can, please like, share and subscribe. It's fantastic to have you on board. I love doing these videos. It's a wonderful day outside. I don't know what's happened to our weather in London, but it's like a day in Florida today, although it should be a bit more frosty and snowy. So maybe go and drink the coffee in the garden is going to be in order for me. So please like, share and subscribe. Come back every day for something fun here on MGTracey. I wish you a very good day.